Sound of the underground. The beat of the drum goes round and around. Girls Aloud, anyone? No, I mean, anyone who's watching this video probably has no idea what I'm singing there. Hello, wonderful people. Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel. Here we go, Sound of the Underground Volume 1. A video idea rebranded in a way, if you will. We used to be reviewing subscribers' music, quite simply. Used to do that every now and then on the channel in the past, but rebranding it, like I said here, in a way, by calling it Sound of the Underground. We have here the rules for the video that I put up a couple of days ago on Twitter and YouTube. Link me an insane track from an artist with maximum 1k SoundCloud followers, 1000 SoundCloud followers, at least 2-minute tunes, and you had to send one of them only. And if you did send more than one, or if you suggested more than one, then I wasn't going to hear it. Probably going to take about 5 or 6 from Twitter and a couple more from YouTube. The weird thing with YouTube, I don't know if anyone knows why this is the case, but it says there are 86 comments, but it's only showing about 30 or 20 or 30 of them. If anyone knows why that would be the case, do let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, because of having over 200 replies or responses on Twitter, I thought it might be a better idea just to include more from Twitter than YouTube, given how much we have to choose from, totaling to around 8 or 9 in this video for Sound of the Underground Volume 1. One final thing to mention before we get going, before we get finding music, is that, yeah, of course there are going to be many people here whose suggestion won't be covered or reviewed in this video, but one way that you can guarantee that this will happen, especially if it's your music and you want to get it covered and heard by other people, is by pledging to my Patreon at the producer tier, tier 2, where I think about every month or so I'm going to be doing a reviewing subscribers' music. I've done one already, dropped it a couple of days ago. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, basically if you want to guarantee your music being reviewed by me and being heard by a load of other people in the Nawtystep Patreon, in that community, in that group of people, then yeah, please do consider pledging or subscribing, whatever you want to call it, at that tier on the Patreon. It is linked in the description box down below. But yes, without any further ado, let's get searching, let's get some finding for some underground gems at Sound of the Underground Volume 1. Here we go. Okay, we've moved over to the SoundCloud page, and first up we are going to check out this one sent in by Vanityce, Vengeful by Jeb. Jeb, who I'm quite familiar with, been keeping up with the Jeb releases for the most part, but this one actually went under the radar and I didn't actually come across a couple of weeks ago when it came out, so going to be checking this one out. With this bit coming back in, I wish it was a little bit longer in the introduction, just to pace out that introduction just a little bit more. But that heaviness, crispy and thick and chunky and intricate, yeah, I'm a fan. Yep. Mate, some of the sound usage, absolutely insane. This is a really good start, really good way to kick off this video and this series overall. Yeah, that was, packing a lot of punch, a lot of great sound usage, a lot of great production. I mean, just killing it in a lot of ways, really. Yeah, super solid track. I think initially there was a part of me when we got to the end or near the end of that where I was like, oh, maybe could have done with a bit more of a catchy idea or something memorable in there, but you've got that grungy, underlying, fuzzy bass line kind of thing, do-do-do-do-do-do, which is maybe a little bit more apparent in the first drop than the second drop, where it gets a little bit more random with the sound choice and the sound placement and whatnot, but it still has quite a presence to make it a thing that is latching in your mind, you know, that is memorable. I mean, I remembered it straight away in talking about it right here, so it must be memorable in some way. But yeah, really well produced, loving the thickness of most of the sounds here. I like the difference between the first drop and the second drop. Second drop a bit more, as I said, you know, random perhaps and arbitrary with what is being lobbed in, strays a little bit from the catchiness of it, but the sounds that are being used in that second drop are super captivating in themselves. And again, this is all without being particularly like explosive or or large or big room leaning kind of tune, but it has that feel about it because the presence of the sound is so there. I think also maybe could have had the introduction be a bit longer in the same way that the midsection is just a bit stretched out. I think the introduction could have been a little bit longer just to build that atmosphere at the beginning, but the heaviness is great. I think, the first drop with a bit more of a groove, the second drop with more experimental sound usage and just a bit more gripping sonically perhaps. So yeah, really good start. I like that track quite a bit. Go and give Jeb a follow if you haven't yet. Next one here sent in by Monoxide, who said, this track blew my mind when I first heard it, and the track in question is Leave Everything by Has Effect, who I must admit I haven't heard of before. Came out a month ago apparently. Yeah, 4 minutes and 6 seconds long this tune. Let's just try it out. Okay, this is like instant follow territory right here. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. The detail on this is absolutely insane. I just feel... Ooh. Yeah, just feel completely immersed in this and entranced in a way. Just keeps just catching me off guard, stopping me from talking, like shutting me up completely through the management of everything going on here. Quite big Little Snake vibes, I would say, for sure, in terms of the abundance of technological leaning sounds we're getting here, how they're brought together, feeling like the inside of a computer, Yeah, that was really nice. Loved the atmosphere, loved the sounds involved and used, loved the detail of the production, how it was all brought together, the awareness as well of when to have gaps, when nothing happens, and just the management of all of that. Yeah, really cleverly done. Got a bit of a pristine feeling to it and how it's all executed, and not many things to say about that, to be honest. I mean, once you push past the thing of like needing a catchy idea or a motif or something about it like that, when you can push past that and just realise it's a bit of a collage of circuit board technological futuristic sound, and you can just see it as that, then you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it quite a bit because it basically does everything that you would want for doing that specific thing. Very fresh and clean and futuristic, and had me completely in a trance, like I said, and that is, I think, going to be another instant follow, if I'm being honest. Just has to be. Now going to do someone who sent in a track of their own. We have Shrike, who I'm quite familiar with, I would say. Heard quite a few Shrike tunes up until this point, but hadn't come across this one, Pressure. Can hear that tear out just kind of creeping in the background there, just lurking. Okay, straight back into it, right back into it, let's go. Oh. Okay, okay. pretty fat, pretty large, big room dubstep vibes there, I think you would agree, but could have been even more so, I think. I kind of expected the impacts with the percussion to be a lot heavier, a lot more there, way more impactful when it comes in, and then that's just the same story for most of the heaviness, I think. The percussion overall for how large a sound Shrike is going for here just needs a lot more thwack, a lot more kind of presence in the heaviness overall, just to give it that ultimate hit, that ultimate punch that you want, again, given what Shrike is going for here. That being said, I enjoy the creativity of it very much so. Definitely doing something interesting with Tear Out, with that big room gargantuan dubstep style when most people aren't, when a lot of people are in this scene. I think in the second drop it gets a little bit more muddled conceptually in terms of where the drop is going, how it's kind of progressing, and the ideas are kind of mini ideas that it chooses to go off in. But overall, with the heaviness, quite fun, quite unpredictable and uninhibited, again, with where it's going, which is a good thing. You don't want it to be too formulaic or kind of one-dimensional where you know exactly what's going to happen and it's just doing the exact same thing as hundreds and hundreds, thousands of other tracks before it have done. A lot of good there from Shrike for sure. Okay, and moving on from there, fourth one from Twitter, we have Signs by Kutsu. Oh. Oh, wow. The detail. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Another really well packaged up tune, I thought, this time of the trap variety. Really nice flow about it, sounds kind of falling over each other, folding over each other. Production again really nice, very good range of sounds yet again on show here. Got a bright kind of sparkly feel about it. It feels like stars or glitter just kind of being thrown everywhere. I mean, that's the image it was providing in my head, not gonna lie. A lot of colour and a lot of showy quality, again without being that out there or exuberant or trying too much with the concept overall. I mean, some people might say there isn't even really a concept, but I think the aesthetic and I think the sound consistency just keeps you locked in quite readily as the listener, and again, yeah, produced really well, all put together very well. Just has a really nice stream of consciousness kind of vibe about it and doesn't really let up on that across the whole tune. So yeah, again, another here where I don't really have that much to fault it for, just sounds pretty good overall. And Kutsu said when they posted this they've been away for a while, so hopefully this video, this review, this coverage, just putting it out there, getting it heard by a few people is the inspiration and the confidence you need to kind of get back into it, because this is really encouraging and I want to hear more of it. Please and thank you. Gonna go for this remix next by Prime Ordnance, which was sent in by a couple of people actually, so if I've seen something that has been sent or suggested multiple times, and that is telling me something, that is telling me that it maybe should be covered. But yeah, Prime Ordnance, someone that I'm quite familiar with, heard quite a few Prime Ordnance tracks and I've been pretty impressed so far, not gonna lie. So here we have another remix which came out last year, 10 months ago. Man, the energy is absolutely off the chart with this one. Fuck yeah, no. I don't know which way to go, I don't know how to move, I don't know where to like, I've been thrown about completely by this music. Yeah, I mean a couple of points maybe where a little bit too much is going on to the point where it becomes a bit clunky, but the energy, the colour, just that updated modern brostep colour kind of flavour is, oh yeah, throwing me. It's throwing me again. Oh, one it up, one it up. It's so full of life. Fucking hell. 586 followers for music like that. Come on, guys, please just follow. Just follow right now. Do us all a favour. The life and the colour coming off of that thing is fucking incredible. I mean, again, there are a couple of points in particular, maybe in the first half when the heaviness is first introduced to us, where you're just like, okay, yeah, a couple of clunky moments here, a couple of moments where not sure whether to bring new sounds in or leave little bits of silence, of what, well, not silence, but relative silence, given how much is going on. Maybe a little bit too much going on here and there, but it's the kind of thing that you're just like, maybe if you hear this track again and again, you'll just get used to and accept, given how much good is going on elsewhere. But also you kind of hear it and you're like, well, I can just hear the potential, I can hear the cleverness with the arrangement generally, to just think that this is an artist I'm gonna keep with and pursue with over time as Prime Ordnance releases more and more and go back again and again to their profile, because I can just see how those things are going to be, you know, ironed out again quite easily over time, given how much other good we get here. Because some of this stuff is just like, you know, knock your socks off good. It sounds powerful, it sounds fresh, it sounds in your face, there's a lot going on, and it's a track that I will be going back to for sure, and Prime Ordnance overall in the future and going forward. Big follow, big follow. And finally today for Twitter, we're going to be looking at Inner Fields by Visura, which is an interesting name that I have not yet heard of. So an underground gem waiting to be discovered right here, and it was sent in by Simol, so thank you for that. Let's go and check it out. I can feel a little bit of D&B creeping in. Ooh. I think not dissimilarly to the Shrike, it's like the idea, the concept, the general approach is very good, but it just needs more of it. It just needs more meat on the bone, more to be fleshed out here, more to be built on with what we already have. The elements are there, it just needs like more of it. Elements are there, good sounds are there, but it just feels a bit thin on the ground. This drop even more so than the than the first one. A distinct emptiness about it that gives it that that kind of barren feel. Ooh. Yeah, a lot was down there. The structure in particular, I think, not easy making tracks like that, but the way every section was mapped out and how each one followed on from the one before it, very, very good. Expert stuff, I think, on that front, from introduction to builds to drops to outro as well. Just really, really nicely mapped out and laid out as a selection of sections. A real drama and atmosphere to the track as well. You got some lovely sounds in particular in those heavy moments, and also I think just some really good bits of experimentation, like the rock kind of elements and sounds that we get in the midsection. There were other kinds of influences dropped in here and there. You had the vocal, which added a bit of charm and character to it as well. That was very good. It's just the drops and how they're executed themselves. It just needs, well, they both needed quite a bit of fleshing out, quite a bit of development. The second one even more so than the first one, which weirdly, I mean, the first one, it was basically there. It just needed a bit more going on, a little bit of refinement with the production, a little bit more going on with the idea conceptually. And then the second drop just kind of went down a bit of a scant avenue where things and elements were seemingly taken away, and it just made for a lot more of an emptier sound. I'm not quite sure what the thinking was there, but just paled quite clearly in comparison with the first. If we're talking about structure, again, different elements being brought together, just the movement, the transitioning of the tune overall, very there. So yeah, a lot of encouraging stuff again from Visura. Okay, gonna finish off with a couple from YouTube. First off, we have Immemorial Bloom, that's it, that's the one, by Leaf, sent in by S4, I think. Okay, let's check it out. Is this an elephant? in the artwork with a really small head and a massive body covered in trees and flowers and etc. Got quite a stodgy feel to it, this percussion. It's overwhelming the overall sound a little bit, like quite high in the mix, quite like prominent, you know. I do like the jumpiness of the track overall. I think it isn't, you know, the most formulaic and straightforward idea you can have, but not that far away from that. I mean, this isn't the kind of track that I would personally go back to all that much, because it's just not doing anything that different from the hordes and hordes of other tracks that we've heard in this lane for years now.
Level 3. Leaf.
Yeah, I wouldn't particularly say anything that I haven't heard before there. I mean, there was some good layout of sounds here and there in certain drop moments where it got a little bit, you know, a little bit cheeky, a little bit, you know, offbeat, off kilter. That was alright, but for the most part, yeah, just quite straightforward, the kind of rhythmy sound that we've heard so much of by now for the last half decade in particular, 5, 6, 7 years or whatever. And yeah, just for me, not the kind of track that I would feel compelled to go back to without the kind of flair or pizzazz or character about it that would kind of single it out from other tracks of that kind. Production overall was also just a little bit overblown, a little bit kind of oversaturated in a way that just made it a little bit grating and a little bit harsh on the ears, but for what it's going for, I think people will enjoy that. If you like that rhythmy, metallic, industrial kind of sound, then you're going to enjoy a tune like that one. And finally for today, we have the Triple the Trouble reboot by Milwafoxel, I don't know how you say that, but sent in by Mega Compressed on YouTube. Final one for today, let's go. Yeah, not bad so far. Really enjoying the production, enjoying the snappiness of it, the punch of it overall. Production's very good. I think with that main idea, with the sound that high pitched, the musicality of it has to be super engaging if you want people to be locked in, because otherwise it just comes off a little bit much, a little bit screechy. Not sure we quite have had that yet so far, but I do appreciate the difference between the different ideas, the different mini ideas we've got here so far. Yeah. That was quite clever, cutting that second drop off, not having it overstay its welcome, be there for too much of the track. I enjoyed that. That was well done. Yeah, I think that second drop overall just has a bit more of an epic feel about it, given that you kind of know what you're getting into with that second drop, having heard the first drop. And then also just the fact that it is shortened, it is cut off in comparison with the first one just a little bit, just to give it that more impactful feel as a way of ending off the tune. I thought that was good. Almost Space Laces-esque kind of robotic growls kind of following the screechy moments in that second drop, which is a lovely little touch to go with it being shortened off in comparison with the first. Good production, well put together, the right length at 3 minutes exactly, and yeah, just a nice, for the most part, tidy little track, if abrasive at points, to finish off here. But there we have it guys, Sound of the Underground Volume 1. Thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you made of these tracks down below, and if you enjoyed the video overall, drop your thoughts on these tracks, give these guys a follow as as well. The links to these tracks will be in the description. Go and check that out. Another quick reminder that if you want to have your music covered, reviewed and shared about by your boy, your best bet for doing that is heading over to the Patreon, the producer tier at tier 2, linked in the description box down below. Please do go and check it out. You can DM me as well with your stuff for feedback whenever you want, and also beyond that you get all the tier 1 stuff as well, so for a small contribution you're helping the channel. It's all just good stuff. But beyond that, I'll see all of you legends in the next one, and keep it naughty. Until then, peace.